Welcome to Abbey. So the main points on this map are in the middle, on the right, and on the left. Like most maps, but this is more the heavy side. The mediums and the light tanks like to go here. And then kind of every tank can sort of go this side because it doesn't really matter what class you are. Since there's spotting locations for light tanks, heavy tanks have got cover once they go into here. And medium tanks, well, you can just go wherever you want really, can't you? So depending on medium tanks, the reason why I say you can go wherever you want is because, well, you know, there's so much variety within the medium tank class that you can. TDs, you can even go down to this side and kind of sit at the back. Or alternatively, you can sit here at the start of the game and try and get some shots on enemy tanks that are coming out of the mid. But yeah, let's now move on to the light tank spots, and yeah. Okay, so kicking it off with the light tanks, as we always do. Now, the first spot I'm going to show you is the middle of the map. It's kind of... you need to be fast. EBRs can go here. The only problem is with this spot is that medium tanks will go there as well. And there's only really... well, there's two ways out, but there's only really one way in, which is this way here. From the start, you could go ultra aggressive and try and spot like this, but then there's no point of really doing that unless you are in an EBR, because what you could do is go all the way up and then you quickly turn around and go back again. There's no point kind of like sitting here because one, you can actually get out spotted by people that are sitting in this bush, and you won't spot them. Unless they fire, of course. And two, you're just a massive open target to anyone that's spotted you going up here. The safest play to do is either get behind this bit here. Once you're down here, you're only really exposed to people that are on this bit over here. Or you could go all the way back around and kind of be safe within your spawn. This can actually work really well because you can lure enemies through. So if you went all the way back down here, there's actually a nice little spot here where you can sit, and if any enemies do follow you, then your team should be able to kill them pretty easily because they're relatively open up here. From the other side, obviously just exactly the same, just go up the middle. Once you go up here, you can try and do the same thing and go along here, but be warned. Obviously, if you go too far, you're going to have the issue of getting detected. But if you go just and hug this wall, then you can actually proxy spot anyone that's down around here with relative ease. Be warned that you're going to get spotted straight away as well, so I wouldn't sit around as soon as you've spotted them. But you can also go into this spot over here, or alternatively, if the area is way too hot for you, you can go down here and then back off down here. Just don't do that. Now for the other side of the map over here is where I'll show you next. As you can tell, middle, yeah, it's a bit dangerous and it's for the more risky people, but if you go over here, then this is for kind of the more beginners, because all you have to do is sit in this bush right here, and as long as you're in this bush, you are pretty safe. As you can see, your view range allows you to spot anyone that's coming down here, and there is hardly, well, there's no bushes here at all. So if anyone is coming down this bit, you're going to spot them no matter what. There's no issues with you not being able to spot someone. If they're there, you should spot them. Even if there's an E25 coming running down here, as long as you have 445 meters view range, you should be able to spot him. Because on the move, obviously, camo values drop. The other bush that you could go into if you are a bit more of a kind of risk taker is this one over here. Just be warned that it gets a little bit deep in some places, but if you go into this bush right here, or any one of these bushes to be fair, but this one's probably the best, you can do the exact same kind of effect. You can try and go up onto this little bush here, which is a little bit annoying in the EBR, but if you go up here, then kind of launch yourself up so that your ass is in the air, like sort of like that. Then you can get a little bit higher up and see over that into like kind of this little area here. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You could just sit here, but I don't really see the point of sitting here when you could be sitting there, and it's a lot safer. especially as the fact that you're a lot lower down, so it doesn't really make sense that people should go here. I mean, sure, you can hide in this bush pretty well, and then you can even spot people that are there. But honestly, just stay in that bush if you're completely new to the game. Come here if you actually want to get a little bit more damage, because from here you can actually go up through here and, try and be genuinely annoying to the enemy. But there are lots of spots that you can sit to just defend yourself with without too much difficulties. Okay, so for the medium tanks, you can kind of play it like a light tank with up on the hill like this, if you really want to. However, if you don't want to go straight up there, then you can actually go around to this bit of the map in the E and F4's area. Now, this will give you a lot more protection, and also you can shoot across to anyone that's sitting over here. I like to go into this position not right at the start, just since it's nice to kind of go other places. I mean, if I can't get up to the middle of the map, then I'll go around here. But anywhere around here, at the start, just make sure that you stay behind these buildings until you know what's going on, because a lot of people will just rush up and you get some easy shots on people. Or alternatively, you could actually wait along the road. Vice versa, exactly the same for the other side. Just either wait there, or you can get into behind one of these houses. Behind this house is actually quite nice because you can actually proxy spot anyone that's trying to push up. Or you can go behind these bushes and behind this house. And as long as you're behind here, you shouldn't... Well, you can get spotted, but it's unlikely since there's quite a few bushes there. Overall, you can shoot across in some locations over there. You have pretty decent cover, so you can only really get shot at or get shots across if you kind of make the mistake of overexposing yourself. I thought there was one here, but I don't think there is. I know there is a spot around here. It's just through here. You can actually shoot across there without too many issues. The rock itself, as you can see, if we actually aim in, you can see that you can shoot straight across over there because the rock isn't actually fully there on the right hand side. If I show you like that, see, so you can shoot across there. It's not perfect, but yeah. Another spot that you can get to is, which is what I was looking for earlier, which is this spot around here. You can actually shoot straight through this window into this bit here if anyone's sitting there. You won't be able to spot them unless they fire, but it's another great spot that you can sit in. Nothing really over here until you go kind of down like this, and then you can just shoot whoever you want from past this point here. This is especially nice if you know that there's someone here and you come from this side of the map. You can come all the way over here and just get some easy shots on people over there. Especially if they want to be a little bit too aggressive. And considering that it'll be this side of the map, so you shouldn't have anyone there that's on the enemy team yet. So you can actually assist your team pretty well with that. But yeah, overall down here there's lots of different places you can go. Just make sure that when you start off the game, you play quite passively and don't over peak anything. And just try and get some damage as and when you can. But yeah. It's pretty nice to kind of battle it out down here at the start of the game, if you don't want to go up to the top. But yeah, we're now going to move over to this side of the map, because there are quite a few spots over there. Okay, so over this side of the map, you can sit back if you want to, but I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, maybe at the start, if a light tank's spotting for over there, then you can, but what you can do is get over here and be really, really annoying for anyone that's trying to push up. You can use this rock, especially if you've got some turret armor. This is actually very useful, so you can use that to your advantage. But these houses over here is where you really want to be. Over here, you can keep poking up, taking shots in the middle of the map, and there's plenty of bushes that you can hide behind. You can even try and spot into the cap if you really want to, by using this. As you can see quite a fair bit of the map over their side of the map. And also vice versa, other side can come up here exactly the same without too many issues. So yeah, there's not really too much else to talk about over here apart from using kind of like little ridgeline kind of things here, like little shortcuts down to the river. But yeah, besides that, it's pretty basic. You just play how you want to. Either works. You can go into the middle if you're a little bit more aggressive, or you can go over here and be a bit passive, shoot across what you can, and then if there's nothing there, then you can go up here. Obviously, if there's something there, you don't go up straight there, you know. So yeah, you'll work it out. I'm pretty sure. So it's all about just working out what's good for you and how you play it. They're just kind of tips for where to go if you are struggling with medium tanks or whatnot. But yeah, let's now move on to the heavy tanks. Okay, so for the heavy tanks. Now, over this side of the map is going to be exactly the same as the other side. You can go up like this and then around, or you can go up like this and then around. It doesn't really matter which way you take. You can go down here. The only problem with going down here is that you're kind of very exposed. So if you are going to go down here, then make sure you hug this wall. Now, I don't really like going down here too much, just because it's very open, and there's not really any cover. Whereas over this side, at least there is a rock where, which you'll see in a second, where you can get behind, which is there. And you've got all of these rocks to protect you from the city, so you're only really going to get shot at when you pass one of these rocks. Now for this, you can side scrape on the corner like this. Someone is usually going to be sitting there, and also on that corner there. So just be warned of that. Usually I found that this team will always try to push this, just simply because they control this side of the map, and that has a lot more kind of area, whereas this side doesn't have as much. So if they control that, then they can afford to push up. Unless your team on this side wins the hill, then they can actually shoot across, and you know, you can easily just take these people out that are pushing up. But fall back, there's a nice little hold down spot here that you can go behind, or even back down here. Don't bother to try and go up and fight them unless you really have to, or you can go all the way around and try and flank them. If you're in a platoon, you can easily just go down here, take out whatever enemies are down here, then move up and around. I've done that before in 430Us. So yeah, this spot's very nice. You can get quite high damage games, especially if all the heavy tanks are trying to push you. So yeah, just play around with it, see which way you like. You can either go that way or that way, it just depends. You can go into this bush here and shoot across if you really feel like it into the city, but it's very exposed, and once you get spotted, you're just in the open, and anyone can shoot you. So I don't really like doing that, especially when you can get spotted going across. For medium tanks, you could do this. I've done it before, but you're then kind of just stuck there, because once you're there, it's very hard to get out of, especially with enemies pushing up. If you're stuck there, as soon as you try and leave, you're just gonna die either way. If you go that way or if you go this way, you're just dead. So yeah, from the other side of the map, exactly the same. You can try and push up, and you can use this rock as well to kind of get behind and side scrape. Just be warned, don't go right up to the rock because of that there. But what you can do is go back like so, and this bit should be fine. So you can actually just side scrape here and try and kill the enemies that are on the corner there. And also there's a very nice position down around the corner behind a tank. But there's lots of positions here where you can go hold down if you have gun depression, which is fine. And this bit over here, where I'll show you now, if your tank's tall enough, you can pretty much just dominate this. As you can see, the 277 is not really tall enough. It's okay, but you can dominate anyone that's trying to push up, as long as your tank's tall enough. So like a super conch could do this, whatever other heavy tank's tall. So yeah, this spot's very nice to just kind of defend from. and you can side scope from it. So yeah, that's pretty much heavy tanks. I'm not going to take up any more of the time because it's pretty self-explanatory once you get here, and your team will just you just go with your team, just do what you can, and yeah, you're done. Let's now move on to TDs because, well, there's only really 2 spots to sit in besides going down here and here. So yeah, let's move on to them. Okay, so finally for the TDs. Now there's only really 2 spots you can go to, which is over here or over here at the start of the game, or you can go over here or over here, which, you know, relies on your light tanks to just spot whatever over there. So these are the only real 2 spots you can go to on either side of the map. Other than that, you could try and play a little bit aggressive and go down the heavy line if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to play it, but right at the start of the game, I would recommend, if no one is there, then you go through these bushes, make sure they're transparent, and then back off, make them become solid, and then you can shoot through and you shouldn't get spotted. So yeah, do with it how you want. You can go over here. You can also get shots on people that are trying to push up through here, which is where the light tanks might come to actually try and spot your team, so you can get an easy shot on people that are over there. Let's now move over onto the other side of the map. Okay, so on the other side of the map is over here, and first thing that I would suggest you do is knock this tree down, just so it gives you a little bit more cover. Knock it down roughly like that. It doesn't really do too much cover, but exactly the same as the other side. Go through the bush, make it transparent if no one's there, or if there is people there, then you can go back and just pre-aim at the area and then just shoot through. What I will show you quickly is over here, because I remember I didn't show you the light tank spot for over this side. So yeah, I'll quickly go and show you that. So from over this way, you can see that there's plenty of bushes. Now, the light tank spot is just in this bush here. Either this one right there or this one here. This one here is a little bit more reliable just because you can see a little bit more. But anywhere over here, you can be on your TD. Just back off and just make sure that you don't, you know, you're not over spotting, or sorry, over peeking anything, so you don't get spotted, and then you should be good. So yeah, that's pretty much for TDs. Not really anything else to say about them, really. Yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, as it does help me out quite a bit. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.